Unless you've been living underneath a rock, in the media you've heard plenty about the Internet of Things, botnets, viruses, DDoSing, malicious hackers. But before I get into that, my name is Steve Smith, this is TQA Weekly, and what is the Internet of Things? Well, there's a lot of talk about the Internet of Things and how it relates to botnets, DDoSing, and of course malicious hackers. So first, what is considered part of the IoT or Internet of Things? Well, anything that can be connected to the internet and accessed remotely without the aid of any other device can be part of the Internet of Things. That can actually include thermostats, printers, cameras, medical devices, sport fitness devices, fridges, freezers, traffic signs, signalization panels, buildings, yes I said buildings, cars or vehicles, smart devices, DVRs, etc., etc., etc. It can include anything as long as it can be connected to the internet and accessed remotely without the help of anything else. But the fact that this technology exists is not what's necessarily what the problem is. What the problem is something that we've had to overcome before with routers on the internet. So the second biggest issue for these IoT devices is the use of default usernames and passwords, poor software design, and of course weaknesses in firewalls and security software meant to defend these machines from being detected, aggregated, modified, and of course finally weaponized for DDoS attacks by malicious hackers. Keep in mind, IoT devices are usually in a class of devices we don't conventionally think as being infectable. So we don't necessarily routinely scan them, or the manufacturers have no way of enabling such functionality to exist in the first place. To which the last thing we need to talk about is, who does the burden of blame fall on? Well, when it comes to poor software design, it's the manufacturer. When it comes to supporting manufacturers with poor software design, though, it's the end user. It is us. Purchasing a reputable IoT device is basically looking for a device that has the ability to have their firmware upgraded, the username and password changed, and of course has security settings that help maintain control over it as well as protect the IoT device in the first place. If you're incapable of doing all that with the IoT device, it is not a reputable device. It's an inexpensive, cheap paperweight that should be sent back to the manufacturer. It's actually better to send the device to the manufacturer and ask for a refund and buy a better one than actually expose our home and office networks to very costly internet bills, as well as sharing in a responsibility of taking down very necessary internet infrastructures over the internet. Because keep in mind, they've been attacking websites and domain name servers, but what happens if they point it at something like the 911 emergency services lines? I hope you liked this episode, but if you didn't, dislike this episode, share that with those that you think can benefit from this, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com, go to my website, tqaweekly.com, and if you want to make the show better, go to patreon.com/tqaweekly and become a patron today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.